So like before production on a show ever starts, how long before that does the writer's room open?
Yeah,
like when do you guys get there?
Generally 8 weeks.
Okay.
Although again, I hear of shows that have a lot longer. A friend of mine worked on the show Rectify on Sundance, which I think is one of the best shows of the last 10 years. And they took like 4 months before they even started writing scripts. Wow. It was just like, because there was so much like emotional stuff going in there and kind of Southern, slow moving stuff and all about relationships and character reveals and where they're going to take them. Yeah. But on 70s and Good Witch, about 8 to 10 weeks before we start shooting.
Okay.
And, you know, if you follow that process I just told you, by the time you break a story, send somebody off with beat sheets, give them a first draft, do notes on the first draft, give them another week. You know, it takes about 6 weeks in a perfect world to get a script at that length. But the first week or two are generally talking about where's the season going to go.
Okay.
So on 70s show, I remember one season on 70s show, we were looking for story arcs and we kind of talked about it. So we went away for a day or two and each of us had to bring in 3 story arcs, you know, things that would affect the season. And I think I said, what if Donna's dad is so upset about her relationship with Eric that he sends her to private school. So we got a lot of good stories out of her now being at private school. Or somebody came in maybe on a different day, might be a different season. What if she starts work at a radio station? So then we got a lot of stuff out of that. Or, you know, Hyde gets a job at a record store or those kind of things. And so, or it'd be, you know, Red's going to lose his job this year, or Red's going to buy a muffler shop, or Kitty's going to go through menopause, or Kitty's going to get a dog. Fez is going to get a girlfriend. Yeah. Who's Jackie going to be with? Because we tossed her around like a bag of sand. It was kind of embarrassing. But
how much of the season do you guys have outlined? I mean, ahead of time like that, or does it always? I mean, it changes obviously. But.
Yes, both. No show. Well. Good Witch is probably the most serialized show I've ever worked on. Buffy gave the illusion of being serialized, but in the first 2 seasons, it wasn't. It was. There were a couple little things, but we didn't know exactly where we were heading. We knew, like I remember for season 2, we had maybe 4 or 5 cards up on the wall. Oz is a werewolf was one of them. Buffy and Angel have sex. Angel tries to kill Buffy. That was the next episode. So, that was Joss's way of saying, you know, the boy who doesn't call the girl after they sleep together was a way of telling this little morality tale, which I thought was really interesting. But I don't think he had Angel gets killed or Buffy kills Angel. Any idea about Ms. Calendar being a gypsy? All that stuff was kind of made up. We made it up as we went along. Okay. You know, like I was doing Good Witch and it involved this relationship. So I knew at the end of season 1, Sam was going to propose to Cassie. So then I knew season 2 was going to be, he needs to find a ring. They're planning their wedding, bachelor party, and bachelorette party, rehearsal dinner, wedding. You know, I had about 5 or 6 cards that had to do with the marriage. Had another character, Grace. She was a teenager getting into like her senior year of high school. So, you know, she goes to a academic decathlon thing. She tries to figure out what she's good at. She writes some stories. She gets a boyfriend. She has her first kiss. They break up. You know, we had all that plotted out. Okay. Kind of on, I keep referring to a wall that we had. So we had those big cards on the wall, kind of moved them around as we went, and that gets adjusted as we go. And so that's why, like I say, if Bill Fuller is writing episode 4, it comes in, it says, well, this is the episode where Grace and her boyfriend go to the prom. We already kind of know that going in. But we would spend a good, at least the first week or two talking about what the season's going to look like before we start breaking stories.